Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, and welcome back if you're returning, and if you're returning, I apologize because I know I was on a roll, I was doing good, but then I left again, and y'all know when I leave that means something bad happened. Last time I disappeared for a year. That was the worst year of my life. This time I decided to just take y'all with me on this journey and let y'all see how this plays out, because I'm starting over again. What happened, Kiki? You just said, I know. I'm gonna tell you. I definitely want to give a shout out to my friend Chris for telling me to go ahead and record this video, because I was thinking maybe I should wait until everything worked out. But no, I want to take y'all with me this time. So where should we start? So let's start from when I last updated y'all. I told you that I got a new place. I still had the Tesla because they never picked it up. And I had a new job in sales and everything was going good. Not even 6 months later, everything flipped upside down. So let's start with the job. Nothing really wrong with the job. I just wasn't making enough money for the hours that I was working. And also too, I was all over the place. I feel like I was bouncing around a lot. And it was just a lot of things with the market right now where I said, I don't want to be a part of this. I got a 6-month lease because I knew that the job was gonna move me eventually. And once I got the 6-month lease, it was coming to an end August 1st. So I started looking for apartments in July. I don't know why I never sat down and looked at my pay stub, but my pay stub pretty much said that you can't even rent a hut. I wasn't making any money, so I couldn't get an apartment. And I said, if I can't get an apartment, then I'm gonna go ahead and leave this job. I'm gonna have to leave this job because it's not worth it. At this point, I was dipping into my savings a lot. And also too, my job gave us advances, so the longer I stayed, the more I would have to pay back. So I decided to just cut ties and leave the company. Once I left the company, now I can't get an apartment. I immediately got a storage room and I moved back in with my mom. It hasn't been bad, but you know, once you get used to having your own place and you get a taste of that luxury of being on your own, you of course don't want to go back home. But I looked at it as an advantage because I said to myself, at least if I get a new job, whether it be here in Atlanta or Florida, because I did apply for jobs in Florida too, or Houston, wherever, I could just pack up and leave and I have nothing to take with me. Right before I moved in with my mom, I decided to just go ahead and take a trip, surrender. I wasn't upset, I wasn't mad. I ended up getting a check for something out of nowhere. So I went and had a great time in New York with my cousin. The day I was supposed to get back, that morning, I got an alert on my Tesla that someone was trying to break into the car. Now, backstory for those who are new. I had a rental car business and I bought that Tesla during like 2022 or whatever, so it's super expensive, way overpriced. I filed bankruptcy and they never picked up the car for 2 years, right? So I thought I was good a little bit. They finally picked up the car after 2 years and I feel away because I'm like, just let me have it. I know they're not gonna do that. My cousin heard the whole thing and she felt so bad, and I was just like, no, this is not a sad thing. I am so ready to let that go because I always wondered when they would pick it up and if they would pick it up, right? So they did pick it up. They picked up my baby. So I get back home after my trip to New York. I go straight, pack up, put my stuff in storage, and get ready to move in with my mom. And I don't have a vehicle at this point, so I go ahead and rent a car. I'm in a rental right now. That's a long story short. No job, no place, no car. The big three, the most important 3 things that you need. I did not panic this time because if you know, you know. I've been through worse. This was nothing. Honestly, everything that I lost, I really wasn't happy with anymore anyway. Even the car, not because I didn't love the car, but because I knew it wasn't mine. You know what I mean? Like, I know that that's your car and I'm not paying on it. So I knew that eventually they would come, and I felt good that it was over. With my place, I had a luxury apartment, and y'all know me, I'm a little cheap. I don't like spending a whole bunch of money on a place just because it's luxury, and it really was super luxury. I'm gonna show y'all the apartment in another video. But I was paying way too much thinking that I was gonna make so much money at my job, and I was so grateful that I only got a 6-month lease. Like, I was so happy about that. And then also with my job, I feel like the hours were starting to get to me. I was working every Saturday and Sunday, and it was really not a lot of work-life balance. I worked on my days off. I always had to have my phone on me. I could never be in the moment. I used to always have to walk out and, oh, I gotta take this call because this realtor needs this and this so-and-so needs that. And it wasn't really annoying or anything. It's just, I was never off. It just wasn't working, period. I had to let it go, and I knew that I could get better. Now let's talk about the job market real quick, because y'all didn't tell me. I would have waited until I got something else lined up before I quit my job, because when I tell you the job market is terrible, so as soon as I got back, y'all, I hit the ground running. I applied for 10 jobs a day. I ended up getting about 15 interviews, and they just don't call you back. They don't say anything to you. And it was so weird, because I would think that I killed the interview and I bonded with the manager. We started talking about our personal life and all that, and then I would just never hear from them again. One of the interviews I went on was a job fair, and when I tell you, they said that 22 people showed up the first hour of the open interview. So the job market, I just wasn't ready for it, because I had kind of got lucky. As soon as I applied for a job, I got my last job immediately. So I guess I thought it was going to be easy for me. Absolutely not. My goal was to get a job where I could at least use my real estate skills, because I do have my license, but I was open to anything. On top of me applying for any job that I could take, I also started applying for jobs in other cities: Jacksonville, Hollywood, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. You know, that's where I'm from anyway, so I was like, okay, I get to be with my dad's side of the family for a while. I was open to anything that was gonna happen. Just rejection emails back to back to back. So I started to get a little discouraged, but then I saw this really good video, and I'm gonna tag it. It was a TikTok from this young lady. I saved it, and she was saying how you need to reject things that don't align with what you want. If it's not what you want, don't even look that way. And that's when I got a little bit more intentional about my job search. Instead of applying for just any old job and jobs that I knew I wouldn't be happy with, I started getting really, really specific about the jobs that I wanted. I ended up getting really good responses, but the jobs were not what I wanted as far as pay structure. Most of them were commission based, and I'm not really ready for that yet. Y'all know. I just want to check for a minute. I don't really want to have the ups and downs in pay. I don't feel like it. But I really did surrender. And I talk about this all the time, because I'm trying to make y'all understand that sometimes we don't know what's best for us, and you just have to surrender and allow things to work out for you and just keep moving in alignment, right? I think I'm gonna do a whole video separate about that, but when I tell you, everything works out. It was so weird. I gotta tell y'all a story right quick. When I was about to quit my job, I went and I'm not gonna get emotional, but it was one particular morning right before I quit my job, and I said, God, I don't know what you want me to do, because this is not working, and I'm losing money, and I'm losing time with my kid. You know, I was going through all these things, and I said, I need you to give me a clear sign, and I know you will, because you have done it before, but make it clear and make it plain. A customer comes in, and they were actually supposed to meet with my coworker, but he was busy, so I sat down with them. And a lady, she said, hey sweetie, I'm a prophet, and God told me to tell you that you're not gonna be here long. I swear to God, I feel like I'm about to cry. She was like, you're gonna be doing something way better, and you're gonna make way more money, and God is gonna look out for you because you got a good heart. I don't want to say all the stuff she said, because that's between me and her, but that was one big thing that happened. And I just think that God is so amazing, because wow, you know what I mean? Like, to have someone come up to me that day, like the same day, it was such a moment for me. And even then, I still was like, was that a real sign? Knowing that was a sign, I still didn't want to quit. So I kept going. I was thinking about it. I'm like, do I want to put in my 2 weeks? I got a sale maybe the next day, and I couldn't write the contract for the sale, and I said, okay, that's confirmation. I need to be done. It would not work. I tried it 18 times. It would not work. They tried to go in the system and fix it. It was just time for me to go, so I left. Right now, where I am mentally is just feeling like I know that things are gonna work. I'm a control freak. I have a type A personality, so I'm always trying to have my hands on everything, so it's very hard for me to surrender, but I've been doing a good job at just letting go and allowing things to just line itself up. In the meantime, acting as my highest self. What would I be doing if everything was good, right? So I started going back out to eat. I started going to get coffee, and it was so many things that happened. So right after I quit, immediately I got a check from my house. They still owed me a couple of thousand from the roof, because they didn't know if they were gonna have to replace it, so they sent me that money. Then I got a couple thousand from my deposit back. Of course, I got the full deposit. Then my taxes that I had filed this year never went through, but now I have money coming from that as well. And it was just so overwhelming, because I'm like, wow, to have gained over $10,000. It's just crazy. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do any hard work. I just let go. And that's why I be telling y'all that. Let go. Now, a lot of people ask me, why don't you just post on YouTube and make money like that? Post on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever. Because I do talk about how well they pay. There's a simple reason for that. I started to get back into survival mode for a second, and I don't want to talk to y'all when I'm like that, because I don't want to do deprivation content anymore. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I am so tired of talking about money, period. I had it figured out, y'all, but now I don't. So I just want to talk about regular stuff. So I hope that me vlogging kind of gets me over that way, but that's the type of content that I want to do. I did post a video, some of y'all saw it. I think it got like 800 views, and I deleted it because I was talking about saving money or something, and I was just like, nah, let me not post that. I am gonna redo it, but I'm gonna talk about it in a better way versus like that whole, you don't need this, you don't need that, you know, whatever. So what have I been doing as my highest self, even though I am not working right now and I don't have a place and I don't have a car? First of all, I have been recording so much content. I just haven't posted it because I was going to do this video first, and then I'll show y'all like my journey of job hunting. I took y'all with me on interviews, packing, and all kind of stuff, my apartment tours. I got you. Journaling a lot. I've been trying to get back into reading, and I've also been thinking about starting a podcast. I know another thing that happened is I was introduced to a new industry in real estate that I never knew about, and I'm gonna do a whole video about that, just what you can do with your license, because I feel like a lot of people get their license and they don't know what to do. I have some suggestions for you. All in all, when you go through these phases and you're in the waiting room or in your waiting season, as they call it, I say do a couple things. Number one, go ahead and lean in on your faith. Whatever it is you believe in, whether you're Christian, whatever, go ahead and start getting into your faith. Number two, do not get into survival mode. It is so easy to do that when you are dealing with financial issues, or maybe you lost your job, whatever the case is. You'll get into that mode of being in survival mode. Don't get there. Avoid it. And I'm gonna do a whole video about that too, because I always go straight to survival mode as soon as my funds look a little funny. Don't do it. And then I think number three, a very big thing, is take this time to spend time with family and loved ones. Call people, but more than anything, allow yourself to rest. I slept a lot. I would wake up, take my son to school, and go back to sleep. And here's the thing, I learned that from the last time when everything went wrong in my life. Allow yourself to rest, because sometimes God wants you to rest so that you can go ahead and get prepared for what he has in store for you. That's what happened to me in 2022. Y'all remember? And I was telling you that I was so sad because I felt like I don't know what to do. I'm about to be 30 and I don't have my life together, and I'm just sitting around going out to eat all day. I wish I would have allowed myself to sleep a lot more without guilt. Because when I tell you I never got sleep again for like 6 months, they stressed me out. I didn't get a lick of rest. From the man I was with to that business, everything. It was a lot of sleepless nights. So I wish I would have just slept and took a nap. But I didn't feel good about that, because we get so used to being productive from working and stuff like that. My mom was looking at me sideways. Oh, you going to sleep? You just gonna sleep all day? Yep. When I start working, I'm gonna be working, not just with my job, but with my YouTube channel, with my TikTok, with my podcast that I'm gonna create. I'm not gonna play, and I'm not gonna sleep. I'll go to sleep, apply for some jobs, pick up my son, go back to sleep. Rest. If you're jobless right now because you got laid off, you better enjoy that sleep. You'll be working. Go ahead and get that nap. You're gonna be fine, okay? Make a to-do list of things you need to do before you start working. What's a trip that you needed to take? What's something you wanted to do for yourself that you couldn't do because you were so busy with work? Enjoy your time off, okay? I know it gets stressful, trust me, because I thought I was gonna get a job immediately. I didn't. I did not. So I get it, but don't stress out. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You really got to believe that it's going to happen when it's supposed to. So I hope this video motivated someone. I hope this video made you feel better. If you are going through what I'm going through, we're going to be okay. Just remain positive. So like I said, I'll be taking you all on this journey with me, and I look forward to it. I want y'all to see this glow up this time. I don't want to just disappear and then pop out. To bring y'all with me is going to be really fun. So I'm excited. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video.